Hey there. Welcome to another deep dive. You know how these work. Just for you, we go deep into a book that you all picked out.
Yeah, and this time we're looking at a classic, right? A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. A Little Princess.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a children's book?
It is. But you know what? I think that's kind of the point. We're going to find out together if this book deserves a spot on our list of all-time greats. And we'll see if it can still teach us something new no matter how old we are.
That's right. And I think that's what makes these deep dives so much fun. You never know what you're going to find until you really get your hands dirty.
Exactly. So let's jump into A Little Princess and see what treasures we can unearth.
Okay, so the story starts with this little girl, Sara Crewe. She's only 7 years old,
Mm.
and her dad, Captain Crewe, he brings her all the way from India to London.
Right, to Miss Minchin's select seminary for girls. This is like the fanciest school you could imagine.
Oh, I bet. So Sarah's basically set up to be like a little princess, right?
Oh, absolutely. From the get-go, you see, she's got this incredible intelligence. She's so imaginative, and she's genuinely kind, too, which is something you don't always see in kids, especially when they're surrounded by so much wealth.
I think it's interesting how they talk about her doll, Emily. It's like Emily's more than just a toy to Sarah. It's like she's a real friend, a confidant.
You hit the nail on the head. There. It's like, even at 7 years old, Sarah has this deep inner world. She talks to Emily, shares all her secrets with her. It's like she understands that some things are too precious to share with just anyone.
And that's something I think we can all relate to, right? Having those thoughts and feelings that we keep close to our hearts.
Absolutely. We all need that space, that inner sanctuary where we can truly be ourselves without judgment. Now, going back to Captain Crewe, he doesn't just drop Sarah off at this fancy school and forget about her. He makes sure everything is taken care of down to the last detail.
Oh, yeah. He hires these solicitors, Messrs. Barrow and Skipworth, to handle all the finances. And he tells Ms. Minchin to basically treat Sarah like royalty.
Right. As if she were a little princess. Those were his exact words. It's like he wants to give her the world. And Miss Minchin, you can tell she loves the idea of having a princess at her school. It makes her look good, you know?
It definitely adds to the prestige of her school, right? But Sarah's not just some spoiled rich kid. She actually makes a huge impression on everyone as soon as she arrives.
Oh, yeah. One of the things that really stands out is how quickly she picks up French. She's practically fluent from day one. It blows everyone away.
I remember that I think he was Ermengarde, another student who really struggles with French, even though her dad's supposed to be this brilliant scholar.
Right. It's like a total contrast. Sarah just absorbs language effortlessly. And poor Ermengarde, she just can't seem to grasp it. It kind of makes you think about different learning styles and how we all have our own strengths and weaknesses.
Definitely. And you can kind of see Miss Minchin starting to get a little jealous. It's like she's almost threatened by Sarah's intelligence.
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of that building underneath the surface. But anyway, back to Sarah. One of the things I find most fascinating about her is this constant pretending she does. She's always making up stories, creating these whole worlds in her head.
Oh, I love that part of the book. It's like she's got this whole secret life going on.
Right. And what's really interesting is that she prefers to keep these stories private. She says that it spoils it if I think people listen. It's like she understands the power of her own imagination, and she doesn't want it to be tainted by outside opinions.
That's such a mature insight for a child to have, don't you think?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how much we lose of that childlike wonder as we grow older.
I totally agree. It's like a reminder for us to hold on to that inner spark, to protect our creativity and not let it be stifled by the pressures of the world.
And aside from being so bright and imaginative, Sarah's just a genuinely good kid. She's kind to everyone, even the servants like Mariette, the French maid.
Yeah.
She's always so polite and respectful. It's really endearing.
It really is. It shows that her kindness isn't just an act. It's not something she puts on because she's rich. It's like it's woven into her very being.
And that's something that becomes even more important as the story goes on, because as we all know, things take a pretty dramatic turn for Sarah.
Oh, yeah. Talk about a twist of fate.
Yeah.
So everything's going great for Sarah. She's living the life of a princess. Everyone adores her. And then, boom, tragedy strikes.
And it hits hard.
You said it. Her dad, Captain Crewe, he loses all his money in a bad investment in diamond mines. And to make matters even worse, he dies shortly after.
It's heartbreaking. You can't help but feel for Sarah. She goes from having everything to literally nothing in the blink of an eye.
Exactly. And Miss Minchin, well, let's just say she doesn't exactly handle the situation with grace and compassion.
Oh, no. She turns into a real villain, doesn't she?
You got it. As soon as she finds out Sarah's penniless, she kicks her out of her beautiful room and throws her up into this dingy attic.
It's like she's forgotten that Sarah's still just a child. She treats her like a servant, makes
Wow.
her do all the dirty work around the school.
It's truly awful, and it makes you think about how quickly people can turn on you when your circumstances change.
But here's the thing. Even though Sarah's world has been completely shattered, she doesn't give up. She holds on to this belief that she's still a princess inside, no matter what.
And that's the line that everyone remembers, right? If I am a princess in rags and tatters, I can be a princess inside. It's so powerful.
It's like she's saying that true worth comes from within. It doesn't depend on fancy clothes or a big house. It's about who you are as a person.
And that's a message that I think can resonate with anyone, no matter what they're going through. We all have the power to choose how we respond to adversity. We can let it break us, or we can use it to make us stronger.
And Sarah chooses to be strong. She finds strength in her imagination, in her kindness, and most importantly, in her friendships.
You're so right.
Mhm.
Even though she's lost all her material possessions, she gains something even more valuable: genuine connections.
Her friendship with Ermengarde, for example. It deepens so much when Sarah's no longer the rich girl. It becomes this truly supportive and loving bond.
It's like they see each other for who they really are without all the superficial stuff. And then there's Becky, the scullery maid. She becomes such a loyal friend to Sarah, too.
I love their little parties they have in the attic with just crumbs and scraps. It's like they create this whole world of their own through their shared imagination.
It shows that even in the darkest of times, joy and connection can be found in the simplest of things.
It's really heartwarming. And then there's this whole other layer to the story with the mysterious neighbor, Mr. Carrisford.
Right. The Indian gentleman who lives next door with his servant, Ram Das. It turns out they have a connection to Captain Crewe and his lost fortune.
Yeah, Mr. Carrisford feels terribly guilty because he thinks he was somehow responsible for Captain Crew's financial ruin.
He's been searching for Captain Crew's daughter all this time, thinking she's in Paris.
Oh,
But little does he know she's right next door living in a cold attic.
talk about a coincidence. But it leads to some really heartwarming moments,
Right.
like when warm blankets and food mysteriously appear in Sarah's attic.
It's like magic. And Sarah actually thinks it is at first. She can't explain how these things are getting into her room.
Turns out it's Ram Dass sneaking them in through the skylight on Mr. Carrisford's orders.
They're like her secret guardian angels looking out for her without her even knowing it. It's such a beautiful example of anonymous kindness.
And the way Sarah reacts to these gifts is so telling, too. Even though she's starving herself, she shares the food with Becky. It shows just how selfless she is.
And there's that other scene I love where she finds a 4 pence on the street and uses it to buy buns, but then she gives almost all of them away to a beggar child who's even hungrier than she is.
That scene always gets me. It's like she truly understands what it means to be in need. And even though she has so little herself, she's willing to share everything she has.
It's a powerful reminder that true generosity doesn't come from abundance. It comes from the heart.
And eventually, of course, the truth comes out.
Mhm.
Mr. Carrisford finds out that Sarah is the daughter he's been searching for.
And he's overjoyed. He basically becomes her guardian. And thanks to him, Sarah's fortune is restored.
Miss Minchin's reaction is priceless. She tries to pretend like she's always cared for Sarah and that she deserves some of the credit for raising her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But Mr. Carmichael, Mr. Carrisford's lawyer, he sees right through her. He makes sure Sarah's inheritance is protected from Miss Minchin's greedy clutches.
It's a satisfying moment for sure.
Mhm.
But what I love most about the ending is that Sarah doesn't change. Even though she's rich again, she's still the same kind and compassionate girl she always was.
She doesn't let wealth corrupt her. She remembers what it was like to be poor, and she uses her newfound fortune to help others.
Like when she sets up a plan with the bun woman to make sure all the poor children in the neighborhood have enough to eat.
It's a beautiful act of generosity, and it shows that Sarah's journey has taught her the true meaning of being a princess.
So what do you think? What are some of the big takeaways from A Little Princess for our listeners?
Well, I think one of the most important things this book teaches us is the power of inner strength. No matter what challenges we face in life, we always have the ability to choose how we respond.
Right? We can choose to let hardship break us, or we can choose to rise above it, like Sarah did.
Exactly. And I think another important message is the importance of imagination. It can be such a powerful tool for coping with difficult times. It allows us to escape reality of only for a little while and to find joy and connection even in the midst of suffering.
And finally, I think A Little Princess reminds us of the incredible impact of kindness. Even small acts of compassion can make a huge difference in someone's life. And you never know how those acts might ripple outwards and create positive change in the world.
It's like that famous quote, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle." We never know what struggles others are going through, and a little bit of kindness can go a long way.
So true. So to wrap things up, I think it's safe to say that A Little Princess definitely earns a spot on our list of all-time greats.
I agree. It's a timeless story with so much to teach us about resilience, imagination, and the power of human connection.
And it leaves us with a lot to think about, too. How do we cultivate inner strength in our own lives? How do we use our imagination to cope with challenges? And how can we be more kind and compassionate to those around us?
Those are great questions. And I hope our deep dive has inspired you to explore those questions further in your own life.
As always, thanks for joining us. And until next time, happy reading.
And happy pretending.
That's right. Never stop pretending.